Hey there, friends. It's Courtney from CM Storytelling, and I am excited to be back with you for another episode of Story Talk. I know it was way too long, so my bad, but we're back. We're back in business, and we got a great episode today. I am chatting with Shaun Williams. She is the owner of NUAHS LLC, a virtual assistance company that it's really more than a virtual assistance company. It's really a business solutions company because Shaun works with her clients to figure out what are the problems they are having and how she can help to solve them. So we had a great chat, and in this first part, we talk a lot about that clarity, how she figured out what she was really good at, where her passions lied, and how she could align that passion with serving her clients and helping them to shine. I love that. So stay tuned for this conversation, and it's just part one. We're gonna have another part two coming up, but stay tuned for this first part of the conversation with Shaun Williams from NUAHS LLC. Good morning, Shaun. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful, Courtney. And how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks so much for joining me and giving me some of your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited for the interview with you, and I appreciate the opportunity just to be able to share a little bit about me.
Yeah, absolutely. I met you on Instagram. We're a social
Yes.
media meeting, so it's great
Yes,
to kind of put faces to the folks that you communicate with via social media.
absolutely.
And I'm really excited to talk about your company, NUAHS LLC, which is a virtual office solutions company. Tell me
Yes.
a little bit about that, first of all.
Okay. Basically, what the company is it not just virtual assistants, because I think that when people hear the word virtual assistant, they always just think of, okay, my personal assistant from at my desk, they're answering phones and things like that. So it's a business solution because any person who wants to come and work with me, we try to find ways, we kind of work together to figure out what it is that their business really needs from me. So that's why it's more of a business solution as opposed to we're virtual assistant. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
I think that gives people a way to really clearly understand what type of service that you offer, and that when they come to you, that you're going to try to find a solution to whatever it is their problem is.
Yeah, I love that. I love that from a communication standpoint because you're answering a question, which is, why do I need your service? And you're already saying, well, if you have a problem, we're here to help you find the solution to that. So I
Yes.
love that just from a communication standpoint.
Okay.
And so who is your target audience? Who are you hoping to really reach with your services?
Well, my target audience are really like that or on the go solopreneur. And I usually work mostly with photographers and DJs,
Okay.
um, because that's the people who I started out with. And
Mm-hmm.
so I found that that was my niche. You know what I mean? That was a place where those people I was able to really focus in on. I love music, so that's something that's first. And
Yeah.
then when you can put your love of music into the work that you like to do, and you can also, and I also appreciate good photography. So those were the reasons why I kind of targeted those two people at first. But I've actually been working with someone who, with a few people who are YouTubers. So
Okay.
now I've kind of, you go from one area and then you start learning about how to work with someone who's doing something totally different. Um, Anyone who has a radio show or they're a YouTuber, that type of thing is now what I'm working with in addition to the photographer and the DJ. So that's why I pretty much put it at a solopreneur, because you
Mm-hmm.
can be in any specific industry and still need the same services that I offer.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you talked about how you started out with sort of the photographers and DJs. What kind of put you in their path?
Um, it was me. it was me at first, and this is a kind of like a backstory to that story, but I had always been someone who enjoyed book reading, and so I started, being really active in a book club. And when I joined that book club, it kind of branched out to a lot of different things. We started going to um, the event. So you know how everybody now has a like a get together. So it would be a get together with not only the authors, but it would be with the lovers of their, their readers, their
Mm-hmm.
followers, their fans. And so I happened to get on a street team.
Oh, nice.
And once I got on the street team and we were supporting this author, I mean, she's phenomenal. She's no longer with us, but she was a phenomenal author, L.A. Banks. I saw that you can give people, you can like empower people to be seen,
Mm-hmm.
um, simply by using the social media. Because back then, and I'm dating myself, I'm sure, but it was, like MySpace.
Right.
Facebook wasn't around yet. It was on the way. And we would do Facebook, I mean, we would do MySpace and Twitter to
Mm-hmm.
promote her books. And so I started to get like a really great feeling by showcasing her talent. And that's when I
Mm-hmm.
started showcasing talent of photographers and DJs the same way. I just took what I learned from being on the street team and doing different things in that arena, and I brought it into doing that with photographers and DJs. So to kind of pull that story all together, what wound up happening is I said, you know what, I really want to do more.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still working my regular daytime job, and I felt like, oh man, I want to be able to do more of this, which would also give me that flexibility to um, be with my kids and things like that, and also to just do something that you love. So that's how I got into the path of the photographer and the DJs, because of my my interaction with authors and just how we were able to showcase what they do. And so I was like, you know what, you guys are great photographers, you're a great DJ, but not enough people see you.
Right.
How about we start, putting you guys like slowly on like 2 platforms? Let's like show people pictures that you do. Let's start showing them that doing a gig here. And then when things start picking up for them, they were like, well, I can't keep up with these emails.
Right.
Maybe you can help me with the emails. And it just turned into a whole thing. It just evolved into this whole business that I didn't even really realize was happening at the time. All of the pieces were coming together. Again, I was still working my full-time job, and this was what I was really loving, and it was what was nurturing my own passions of things that I enjoy. So when I was able to turn that around, that's how I was able to kind of just focus in on the people that I knew. It was focusing in on the people that I knew more about what they do, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to, just taking on everyone and not being able to really fully help them to showcase their business, or to, just help them on the administrative side of things. So that's what I offer: the administrative support and social media support.
Yeah. I love so many things that you just said. And I loved when you said that you started to get really passionate about showcasing talent.
Yes.
Um, I think that's so cool that you were able to kind of figure out, not just the specific skills that you had, which was clear you had, the promotional skills and, the sort of bringing things together and, organizing skills, but that passion of, I really love this, taking these skills, but for the bigger purpose of showcasing this talent.
Yes.
I think that's a great lesson for other entrepreneurs to kind of not just base your business on what you know how to do, but really trying to align it with that core passion that you have.
Yes, yes. Because I think we all look for um, how, our purpose, our passions, all of those things. And if you can at least pinpoint one key component, it winds up bringing in all of the other things. It's like a flower. You just plant the seed, and then you can see it growing and coming to life. It's really fulfilling. I mean, don't get me wrong, you have your days.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think we all have a day where we wake up and it's like, I just don't want to do anything. But
Right.
when I really think about it, and when I talk with people about it, I just always feel really great just in what I'm able to do.
Yeah.
Even and it may just impact them in a small way, but if they're empowered from what I've done, that's my whole thing.
Yeah. And you talked about how it just kind of developed organically, your
Yes.
business. And so when you were in that process of, I'm still working a full-time job and this other business is kind of developing, what were some of the emotions that you were going through during that time?
Some of everything. I would say it was stressful. Like, how can I make this support me the same way as the full-time job so I can leave that? So you have a little bit of anxiety because you're thinking to yourself, um, what if this doesn't work out? Like, what happens if you leave this and this other job that's doing so well right now as a part-time side hustle? What happens when you make it the primary everyday hustle job? What happens if it fizzles? And I think you have those feelings of, nervousness and anxiety. Is this going to fail? Is this going to do well? Can I do it? Um, I think had it not been for my husband being supportive of it, that I could have this business could have been gone like years ago. But it's because of his support. When those feelings of anxiety and uncertainty, because I think it's a combination of emotions that really come in place. When I was thinking about it, it was not just anxiety. I would say it was fear,
Mm-hmm.
um, the anxiety, in which fear it acts as a fuel
Right.
to make your anxiety just really go up a level. But I think my main emotions at the time were, I don't want to fail. I'm kind of scared because what if this doesn't work out? And I think just thinking about that one thing, like, will this do what my main job is doing? And I thought about the financial,
Mm-hmm.
because I have a family. I have 3 kids. They're not kids anymore. My youngest at this point is 19. But back then, when I started in 2011, that was my concern. Like, will I be able to make this work like corporate can provide for me? And without all of those things in place, those emotions, I believe, can really, um, it could probably make somebody decide not to do it.
Yeah.
It would hold someone back and say, no, I think maybe I'll just wait. I'll keep doing it as, on the side, and they don't need me right now. But I think what we also have to think about is who we're helping and how we're helping them.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have that understanding, even in the fear, so then that is able to help you to just go beyond the fear to the next step.
It's kind of like a home base where you can come back to and say, okay, I'm freaking out now, but this is why I started this.
Yes,
And these are the people that I'm, serving, and just having that belief that you do have something unique to offer. And if you are stuck in the fear, you can't give the world that unique gift that was put in you to give. So
yes, absolutely. I totally, totally agree.
Yeah.
couldn't have said it better. That's exactly everything in a nutshell.